Hey there, viewers, a Transformers fan or Charlie Young back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Now, of course, this is one of the 13, but I feel out of all of the 13, Alpha Trion is the most recognizable, alongside Vector Prime and the Fallen or Megatronus. Maybe also Nexus, but only if you're like a diehard BotCon fan or something. But anyway, I feel Alpha Trion is the most famous, and that's because he was in the original G1 show, and he was also in TF1. He's mentioned in RID 2001 as well. He's an animated. Alpha Trion has appeared quite a number of times. So, yeah. Anyway, looking at the box. So, of course, we've got the standard Age of the Primes packaging. So, of course, we've got Trion here in both modes. Got his name right here in his symbol, the 13. Got that gold because, of course, it's one of the Primes. 22 steps. This side, we just have him writing something. This side, we got a picture of him with Primer and Vector. And of course, we got him in both modes. Got all the stuff he's got. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. And looking at the figure, well, this is a whole new figure because, of course, Trion was also in Legacy, where that was just a Scourge retool. So, yeah. But this is a whole new mold, and honestly, I quite like this spaceship mode. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure this is concept art for IDW. I might be wrong, but still, I think this is a really cool looking spaceship mode. So, yeah. So, for the details, of course, we've got the purple right here. We've got this nice red cockpit, which I think is really nice, even if this is a spaceship. Who's going to use that? Got a port on top if you want to plug a gun in or something. You do have a slight case of visible head syndrome, so it is kind of like the Legacy figure. There is some Scourge DNA, but it's not a Scourge retool whatsoever. I've got some bits of lavender paint right here, some turquoise, or at the back right here. The underneath, we've got a little port there for a stand. So, yeah. Overall, I think this is a really nice looking jet mode or spaceship mode. In fact, it spins really well too. But anyway, moving on, let's do the accessories. So let's start off with the artifacts. And his main one is a book. But this is meant to be the Covenant of Primus. You know, that one book from 2013. That's really expensive now. But anyway, with this version, it's only got 2 pages. And opening so we can read it. I'm reading the wrong side because I'm an absolute idiot. So we got probably Cybertron, I don't know, but we can also see that this has got a built-in tape player, so in case he ever meets Blaster's cassettes, he can have them playing here, which is kind of cool. The main page got some Cybertronian writing. I don't know, Dear Diary, my Cronus is really fucking tiny, or something. But we also got his symbol right there. And the last page, nothing. But this is not the main page, it seems. But still. Why is there a built-in tape player? Anyway, the stewardess, we got this little port here. And it's going to just plug in right there. But of course, seeing how he's got a book, he needs something to write with, so he's got a quill. So there's that. There's something to dip it in, like that one family guy see with Peter, but anyway, we can just plug this under one of the little pauldrons here, or whatever these are. So we can just try and plug this on. There we go. Let's come on tabs. So yeah, that just plugs into the wing there. And the final accessory, this is more an optional one, like you don't have to remove it whatsoever, but this is like a fun nod. It's an Autobot symbol. Like, okay. So if you want to, you could just whack this onto someone and just make them an Autobot against their will. Like, come on. Trying not to drop it. So you can just damn someone to forever be an Autobot. But no. Apparently this is meant to be one of those coder remotes from season 3 of the original show. Which is cool, but I mean, that was used by a really young Alpha Trion, like A3. So, okay. But as I said, this is optional. And of course, you can see the Autobot shaped port right there. So we just plug this in. But it's still a really fun nod. So, yeah. And I guess if you want to count these, the little shoulder spikes can also come off. If I can get these, there we go. These can also come off if you want them to. So there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. So let's put him with his older self, because believe it or not, this is based on the younger Trion from like War Dawn. But anyway, let's put him with his older self from the Legacy pack with Orion Pax. And I guess as he got older, he just decided to scan a Dead Sleep's body or something, because, come on, this is a straight up sweep, or this is Scourge's body. So, yeah, I guess as he got older, he just decided to scan a Sleep's body. So, yeah, this is a lot more clever, because this is a whole new mold, whereas this is just Scourge. I mean, sure, but But you can see, like, there's no white on this, it's all, like, gunmetal and all that. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the transformation, because compared to this guy, where, of course, it's the Scourge transformation, this transformation is actually kind of interesting. So, for the transformation, well, obviously we have to take the Covenant and the quill off, but this transformation, oh, damn, the quad just went flying, but this transformation I think is really interesting. So, what we do is we fold this up, and fun fact, this is actually another accessory. Yeah, you can take this off, and this can actually just be a shield if you want, but you do have to have this on for vehicle mode, so... But you don't have to take it off for the transformation, so he's not a parts former. This doesn't have to come off for the transformation whatsoever. It's just you can take it off for like a shield in the robot mode, but it just doesn't have to come off whatsoever for the transformation. So, but anyway, to start this off officially, we're just going to take the arms and just untap them and move them out. And you can see how they go in. This little bit goes into that slot there. There we go, and might as well just get the hands out right now. There we go. Just going to untab all this because there's a lot of tabs that go into the legs. So just untab. There we go. And a very unique transformation step is we move the torso down. So this does mean that he's got an ab crunch in robot mode, which is pretty cool. Spin around the waist. These little chunks are just going to collapse in. Come on. Take the legs, split them. Just move them, and that's a concerning noise. Like, dude, this one doesn't do it, but this one. Ugh. That is concerning. But anyway, just do the legs. The heels, which I think is a huge pain to do, but try and get your fingernail onto this bit here. And we'll try and get the heel out. This could take many hours, but just... Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. Okay, that's one heel out. Oh, there we go. That's the heels out. Arms can move down. Again, I'm really concerned for this leg. Now we can just get this blue bit out, open this up, close this. And that just folds onto his back. And the head just moves up. And here we have Alpha Trion in robot mode. And yeah, that's quite a interesting transformation. Would I say it's fun? Well, most of it, yeah. Like, I'm not a fan of trying to get the heels out because honestly, sometimes it can be a bit fiddly, but that is a really fun transformation. I especially like how the torso transforms, you know, having to move it down. Because it literally gives him an ab crunch. So, yeah. But anyway, the resulting robot mode is... Well, it's younger Trion from War Dawn. You know, when he's rebuilding Orion Pax. In fact... Here he is with Orion Pax. I don't have the Ariel Dion 2 pack. I missed out on that. Maybe I should get that one day? I don't know. But, honestly, I think that this looks really good. So, yeah. And, of course, looking at the robot mode. Like, he does have a cape, but I think it does suit Trion. Of course, we've got a port there in the back if you want to plug in something. We still have the ports everywhere. If you want to plug in the weaponizer, you just have to take the little bits out the shoulders. The head, of course, seeing how it's younger Trion, he just has a mustache, not the really long, wise beard, but still. Of course, you can see the Autobot symbol, which you can remove, which I'll show later. And, of course, what we can do, we can give him these accessories. So we can plug in the quill. And, of course, there's a port here on the Covenant, so we can open it to whatever page you wish. Again, that sounds concerning. That creaking noise. And we can try and make it look like he's writing. Like, Dear Diary, what the hell did Optimus Prime do today? Seriously? But, So, yeah. Or, alternatively, of course, we can take the Autobot symbol off. And you can hold this. Probably. I don't know, can he? Oh, there we go. So yeah, he can hold it. Although that was more E3, back when his mustache hadn't grayed yet. But you can do that. You can plug it into a different port, plug it into the back. So there is options. You can probably plug a blast right into there if you want. So yeah. And in fact, I'll plug these in later because there is something about the hand I want to talk about when we do the articulation. But for now, let's put him next to Old Man Trion so we can see how much he's like evolved, I guess. And hang on, so what are these wings? There we go. So we can see how he's aged, I guess. And honestly, it's kind of funny. Like he got a bigger cape. He got like old man slippers right there. Looks like it's just a consequence of being a surgery tool. Honestly, and honestly, I definitely prefer how this one looks. Like, yeah, it's definitely like this one is more accurate to how he appears. Like, I guess current day as of the G1 show, but I think this one looks better. Had they done a new toy of this guy from the ground up, I'm sure it would also be really good. But yeah. But yeah. And keep in mind, the skeleton was quite the shell former, so yeah. Whereas this guy, the feet form the front of the vehicle mode, for example. Now, of course, for the articulation, the head can go side to side, can look up just due to the transformation, can look down, arms can move, can T-pose, how this can move out as well, if you want that look, swivel there, the bicep, elbows about there. Of course, hands can go in if you want that. But the hands can also open if you want that look. So there's that. So yeah, the hands can open, although they can't swivel, unfortunately. And in fact, the swivel is right... Like, the swivel is right here. Up here. I feel there should be a swivel right around here by the bicep, but no, so that's kind of poopy because it makes it hard for him to do like writing poses, you know. So yeah, they should have moved that butt joint down to the bicep. Oh well. Waist articulation, well, obviously it's part of the transformation, so yeah. Of course, ab crunch, and he can arc his back due to the transformation. This guy can move up, so he can kick forward. He can kick back, although this does get in the way, but he can kick back. In fact, what I'll do is I'll take this off so I can show you the shield as well. But he can kick back. Swivel here, which, remember, sounds like it's gonna fucking break. But anyway, knee, about 90 degrees. Feet can move down. And he can do the splits and pretty good ankle pivot. So yeah, pretty much my biggest gripe is the left and swivel right here, because it creaks too much. It's probably just my copy, but seriously. But anyway, of course you can also remove this. We can move this round, reconfigure this, and it can form a shield. So you can do that if you really want to. Me personally, I don't see a reason why this guy would need a shield. Like, when he's older, maybe, but in his younger days, when he's more turning Orion Pax into the leader of the Autobots, not really. So I just keep it plugged into his back. But it is still a really cool feature. Plus, the fact that you don't have to remove it is highly appreciated. Because, you know, that means you don't need to do parts forming. So, yeah. Now I just have to try and get this plugged back in. Now, I am more than happy to just display him with the book and the quill. And this is not wanting to plug back in now. You can see the port is right there on his ass. So, but as I was saying, I am more than happy to just display him with the quill and the covenants. So we can just plug this into his hand, like so. Take the covenant, open this up. I have no idea what that says, but anyway, we can just plug this in. And there we go. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about him. Complaints? Well, I would say definitely be careful if you're moving like the legs, because keep in mind. Oh. But further complaints, I'm not a fan of the heel transformation, because keep in mind, you have to try and get your fingernail on the thing and then try and pull it out, which is kind of fiddly to do, but I also kind of wish that it was a bit easier to get the Autobot symbol off, because often when I try to get the thing off, it just goes flying. And also, give him an actual bicep swivel, not right up here at the shoulder. So, yeah. But still, I think he's definitely better than the Legacy version. So I'm happy to have this as the other Trion in my collection. Yeah, there's a Studio Series 1 coming next year for Transformers 1 Alpha Trion. Can't wait to see what that one's like. But anyway, do I recommend this? Definitely. I mean, come on, it's Alpha Trion. So, yeah. I think he looks really good in both modes. He looks cool just holding the quill and the covenant right here. So, yeah. So, this has been my review on Age of the Prime's Alpha Trion. And this is a Transformers fan signing off.